Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another story time on this channel. Buckle up, sit down, relax. I feel like this is actually going to be a very long one. A very recent, crazy story just happened to me. And I just feel like as soon as it turned out the way it did, I literally told the group chat, yeah, this about to go on my YouTube. And I meant what I said. I said what I meant. So let's just hop right into it. So, I don't know about y'all, but not to be like a pick me, but I'm like for real a homebody, y'all. I have been to the club like twice since I turned 21, and I've been 21 for I don't know, over 6 months. I went once around my birthday, then once in like December. Mind you, right now it's August. And I don't know, I just like hang out to let's go to the beach, let's go to a museum. Low key a bad habit because I like stuff that costs money, like let's go get food, let's go to an amusement park, stuff like that. But I don't know. I really just don't leave the house. But I'm trying to say yes more and just like stop living like a 21-year-old grandma. And so that is what led me to the story that I'm about to tell you. So the other day I had a pool day with my friends and they were being so lame, y'all. We was only in the water for like 40 minutes. I guess it just wasn't the vibe that day, but it was still fun. Like we were in the pool for a little bit and then we were hanging out and then we were just like talking, at like the little tables with umbrellas and stuff. And I remember one of my friends, we're gonna call her Pesto. I don't know if she cares if I use her name, but just in case, um, my friend Pesto is saying that this guy wants to see her tonight, right? And she told him like, "Oh, sorry, I'm like with my friends." And he was like, "Bring your friends," right? And so her and we're gonna call my other friend Minnie. So Pesto and Minnie are looking at me like, because they know how I am. They're like, "Oh my God, Alicia, please come." By the way, it was going to be like bowling. They were like, "It's bowling." Also, I'm trying to save money. I'm like, I don't know, y'all. Like, I kind of want to just go home to my bed. Like, I don't want to spend money, blah, blah. They're like, "Come on, like, girl, you never, like, come on, it'll be fun. Like, go out." They're trying to like push me on my comfort zone. And so I'm sitting there thinking about what I just told y'all. How I'm like, yeah, I should stop living like a grandma sometimes and just say yes more. So I'm just like, okay, I'll go, right? And it was like a whole thing where they're like, okay, we're literally at a pool. We're not prepared to go bowling. And mind you, it's like a drive and stuff. So she's like, okay, like you guys go home real quick, make your bags and stuff, and then just bring all your stuff. You can shower, get ready, all that stuff at my house. I'm like, okay. So we speed run to our houses. I fix my bag in like 10 minutes. I come out. We're on the road to Pesto's house. Okay. So we pull up to her house at, I don't know, maybe like 8ish, and we have to be there at like 9:30. Oh, and mind you, the guy said like bring your friends because he said he was there with his friends. And why am I like this? Because I remember she was over here. I feel like I get anytime I went out to the club and stuff, I just feel like I get icked out so quickly. Like, don't touch me. But minutes of like, I don't know, like single or not, I just feel like I'm just so cutthroat with men. Not necessarily like mean, but I'm just like I can't flirt for fun or if I really know. Like I can't do it. And I remember he was like, "What do your friends look like?" And he never sent them. And we're thinking like, since he didn't want to send them, I'm like, "Are they ugly?" Because why you didn't want to send them? What you mean? What ours look like? You know she's pretty, so you know her friends are pretty too. Like what? But anyway, we were all wondering about that. But anyway, we get to Pesto's house, we shower, we get ready, put our makeup on, all that stuff, and then it is time to go. So we're off. We're off to the bowling alley. We pull up and Pesto, what's her name? Yeah, Pesto texts the guy that she was talking to and she's like, "We're here." We go in. She's acting all scary. And mind you, like I'm I don't understand why I was the most fearless one in the situation cuz I'm the odd one out. Like Pesto and Minnie, my two friends they're like used to going out and like hanging out with guys or like seeing people, like they're like outside more. But I remember they're all acting all scared like we want to see them before they see us. Where's lane 37, blah blah. I'm like, oh my God. So I go and I find them and I just turn around. I'm like, well, there they are, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, obviously the first people to meet is Pesto and the guy that she's actually like was speaking to, and they're just like, "Hey, hi, nice to see you. Like these are my friends, blah blah blah." And then you know in bowling alleys how you go in like where the seats are by the lane, and when we actually get like in that area, he has three friends, I want to say. One is like kind of quiet, standoffish, just like hi, but the other two like actually shake our hands and ask our names, like, "Oh, what's your name?" "I'm Alicia." "I'm Pesto." "I'm Minnie." Whatever, blah blah blah. And then y'all, it's like the typical awkward first link up, like you know in bowling alleys where there's one side for one lane and there's one side for the other lane, but normally the other lane wasn't bought, so we kind of just sat on the other seats. We were kind of just giving standing emoji, like, because like you said, especially me, I'm awkward. I'm not used to like being around men like that or doing stuff like that. So like us three are all like just chatting and the guys are just on the other side. But then I'm playing with Pesto and I'm like, "Girl, go and sit next to who you came to sit with, blah blah blah." Like we get her over there. And then me and Minnie are just observing, like looking at her, blah blah blah, whatever, right? So I'd say it was like that for like the first 10 minutes, and then the boys are like, "Well, are you guys gonna bowl?" And we're like, "Well, yeah, like, are you gonna add us to the lane? Is there a way to add people?" Blah blah. They're like, "Oh yeah, cool, we got you." So we go in line with them and stuff. They actually end up paying. It was nice. They paid for our shoes, and then we all started game, girls and guys. And I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of the game, it's still giving how it was like from the jump. Like, um, oop, Pesto is socializing with the guy she came to meet. The guys are on that side, but me and Minnie are still on the other side, right? And but then this guy comes by and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna join you guys." And I'm like, "What?" And but it was like a guy just making a joke because he bought the lane. So I was like, "Oh, this is awkward." Like now I feel weird. I'm like sitting in someone's seat. It was just him by himself. He didn't have anyone with him. But then the guys were like, "You guys want to like sit over here, bring your stuff over here?" And we're like, "Yeah." And so my friend really tried to play me. Okay, because my first thoughts, if you're wondering about the boys, okay, out of there's four of them. One was the one Pesto was talking to. The other three, like two of them, I was like, no. One of them, I was like, but he looked young. This is the thing. He looked young. I know I look young too. I'm 21 and people still think I'm in high school. So I was like, maybe he's just one of those. Like I know obviously he's around our age because he's hanging out with us. And he was like, these guys were like his coworkers, but I didn't know exactly what, right? So I was like, he's cute, but he just kind of looks, I don't really know. But when we go over there to sit, like Minnie and Pesto, they were telling me like they were low key like shipping. And so when I go over there to sit, they made it so there isn't room for me to sit next to them. So I had to sit next to him. So we are going to give this young looking guy the name Heel. Heel. Okay? Heel. So I really hadn't talked to Heel the whole night besides like him just asking my name when we said hi. When I went up to the board to like press my name in, and like I just heard him casually making like jokes, like he seemed a little funny, but like that's it. But when I sat next to him, we started talking. We're like, "Oh, this like mind you, where we're at, we're not in our city, but we're in like our county. So I don't really know where these guys are from. So I'm like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" Like we start talking. I'm like, "What job do you guys have? Like how you guys know each other?" Like talking to Hill specifically, right? And he's just telling me, "Oh yeah, these are my coworkers. Like we work here, blah 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 blah." And then I'm asking like where he lives and stuff, and like what high school he went to. I don't even know how I brought that up, but he tells me the high school, and I'm like, "Oh, I feel like I might have played them before." Because mind you, I was a basketball player in high school. He's like, "Played in what?" And then I was like, "In basketball, blah blah." We talk about it, yada yada. It's just like small talk. We started talking about high school, um, sports we played, stuff like that. And then like I remember, sometimes he's like gone because he's up taking his turn, like to bowl. And so in between, sometimes like my friends are turning to me like, "How is it?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, he's cool, he's cool." They're all like, "Ee." I'm like, "Y'all, relax." But I'm like, they're like, "What's his name?" I was like, "Oh." Because I remember up on the thing, he didn't have his name. He just had like the first letter. And I was like, "Wait, I need to get his name and his age." Because I was telling my friends the same thing. I was like, "I don't know why he looks so young to me." Like, whatever. So when he comes back, I ask him, I was like, wait, what's your name? He tells me it's Heel. I'm like, how old are you? He's like, oh, why do boys always try to say this? Instead of saying their real age, he talking about, oh, I'm 21 in December. I'm like, so you're 20. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And then I told him what I thought. I was just like, oh, I was just asking because I was like, you look really young. But I was like, I understand because I look young too. A lot of people think I'm in high school, but I'm over here 21. He's like, no, for real. In my job, when I tell people I'm 20, they don't believe it. They're like, what the blah, blah. We're just like talking like that. Whatever. Right? The game eventually ends. All the girls go to the bathroom for a chat. And then when we come out, the guys are like motioning us to like this store to go out. It's not the same way we came in, but apparently we parked over there. And so when we go over there, it's giving Friday night y'all. Like it's giving leaning on cars, music playing, drinks in hand, and they're like, bring your car over here, bring your car over here. So we're like, okay, we get in the car, we go over there. And then yeah, so at first it's like a circle. Like some of us are leaning on one car, the other car facing each other, and we're just all talking about random stuff. Like we're talking about random stuff. We're joking, we're laughing, like someone brought up rock, paper, scissors, we're all challenging each other, like stuff like that. But more and more, as the night goes on, it kind of starts to be like coupled up conversations. And mind you, there was four guys, but one left. So now it's like three girls and three guys. So obviously, my friend Pesto is with the guy she came to meet, and then my friend Minnie is just like talking. She ends up talking to the other guy, and then me and Heel are talking. And honestly, y'all, vibes on 100. Like I can't even lie, he was funny as hell. Like he was one of the funniest people I've met in a long time. We were just cracking jokes. Like it was like good banter. Like we were like playing off each other. Like it was just we were just laughing, talking about different stuff, yada yada yada. Um yeah, so we're leaning on the car facing like this way. And my friend Pesto and the guy are like further more in the front of the car leaning. And then Minnie and the other guy are like on the other side of the car leaning that way. Why all of a sudden in the midst of me and Hills laughs and giggles, we're like, do you see that? We see Minnie and the guy kissing. And then we're like, oh, oh. Like we're just being nosy, again, laughing and stuff like that. And then we see Pesto and the guy kissing. And we're just like, I'm just like, you want to give us a space? Because like it's kind of awkward to be like right there, you know. I'm like, you want to give us some space and like go somewhere else? He's like, yeah, that's a good idea. So we're like, yeah. So we walk to like the other side of the parking lot and we sit on the curb and we're talking for like 10 minutes still, just about BS, like about where we work. Oh my God, what sibling are you? I'm the youngest. I'm the middle. Just still typical stuff, but it's just good vibes. Like the vibes are on 10. But then like 10 minutes in, I guess they were done and they come over and they're like, guys, we're hungry. Like we're going to go to In-N-Out. And we're like, okay. So we start walking over to the car. Minnie gets in the car with the one guy who drove, Heel, and the guy my friend was meeting. And then the guy my friend was meeting and Pesto get in like the car I came in. And he's like, oh, what car am I getting in? And mind you, like I said, y'all, the vibes was just like good, we're both funny vibes, but like he was still cute. So I was like, come with me, don't leave me with them, blah blah, blah, whatever. I grab his hand and then we go in Pesto's car, right? So on the drive to In-N-Out, it's just more vibes. Like he's just really funny. My friend is playing rap. She's playing like Glorilla. Like we're rapping Glorilla. We're like, it's vibes, right? I remember he's asking who I listen to. I'm telling him how Lauryn Hill is like one of my favorite artists. I show him like stuff from the Lauryn Hill concert, whatever. We make it to In-N-Out. We all go inside, and then again, the girls have a lady chat in the bathroom. So I'm basically just asking like Minnie and Pesto, like, how did that happen? I'm like, how did that happen? How did you guys end up kissing? Like, blah blah blah. And they're just saying the same thing, like, oh, how was it with you and Hill? I was like, it's cool, y'all, but they're like geeked. They're like shipping hard. And I'm like, he's like cute, but I was like, all we're doing is like laughing and bantering. So I was like, I can't really tell Like, if it's like that. And they're like, girl, like we kiss, blah, 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 we kiss. They're like, no, you need to kiss him. I'm like, what? Mind you, I've been single for over a year. I haven't kissed anyone in over a year. I haven't been on a date with anyone in over a year. So I'm like, what? Like, I feel like that's scary. One, I don't know the vibe. Second, I haven't done that in a long time. But they were like, y'all, like they paid for our stuff. Like, you guys are cute. Like, you can do this, Alicia. You can do this. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'll try. I'll try. So then go out there. Everybody's eating their food. I didn't eat. I'm kind of just ear hustling everybody else. For a moment, the two guys that were like paired up with my friends went to the bathroom, but Heel stayed out there with us, and he's just giving like comedian. Like he tells me he's the youngest. He has an older sister, and it just shows. Like when like little brothers just know the lingo and they just fit right in with the girls and the tea. Like it's just giving good vibes, right? But literally, mind you, by this time it was like 2, and In and Out closes at like 1:30. So like, hi guys, if you guys are done, could you like leave because we're closing? So we all go, and then well, majority of this group was black people, not everybody, but y'all know the black people circle when you're supposed to leave and you just walk outside and just linger in front of the building in like a circle and keep talking. That's what we did. We're just talking, yapping. We're like, what's next? Blah blah. We're young and time. We don't want to go home yet. And then the In and Out people start pressing us even more. They were really nice about it. They were like, hi guys, like unfortunately you do have to leave the parking lot because like we can't leave until you guys leave. And we're like, oh shit, sorry. So we start talking about like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So the guy who was paired up with my friend Minnie is like, who had the car that drove the guys, is like, I gotta go, like I got work. So he leaves, and we're like, let's go to the beach. That was their plan. So we're like, okay. We drive to the beach. And on the car to the beach, not much happens, just the same vibe. But because almost said his name, because Heel saw my Instagram when I was showing him when I went to the Lauryn Hill concert, I was like, let me see your Instagram since like you got to see mine. He was like, oh yeah, follow me, blah blah. So we exchanged Instagrams, we're looking, blah blah. We pull up to the beach. Um, Pesto and the guy she met are like want to get out, but we're kind of cold. And I'm like, I don't really want to get out. But they're like, get out. Minnie wants to like stay in the car, but she's like, get out and like go with her. Like, so we're like, okay, we get out. And that's when the vibe switches just a little bit, okay? So Heel is telling me like I should have brought a jacket. I'm so cold. And then that's when I start like flirting a little bit. I'm trying to finish the mission for my homegirls. And I'm like, okay, let me give you the broke boyfriend hug to warm you up. So we're like hugging and stuff like that. He's like, wait, you're really soft. Stop. Like, I actually do feel warmer from this. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. So we're kind of like, then we start walking down the beach and we're kind of trailing Pesto and the other guy. And me and Hill are just not feeling it. We're just not feeling it. Like, it's cold and it's like people out there, like certain types of people. And we're just like, we're just gonna go back to the car. We just yelled at them, like, we're gonna go back to the car, right? And they're like, okay. We're like, okay, we're gonna go back to the car with Minnie. And when we turned to go back to that car, that's when I felt the little waist hug. I said, things are changing. Maybe. I don't know, y'all. I hadn't done this in a long time. But we go to the car, Minnie's in the front, we're in the back, and we're like, it's mostly our conversation, but Minnie is also like chiming in, because she's there. We just started talking about random stuff. Like, I think this guy told me he was a Sagittarius, and I'm like, Sagittarius is just be lying. Like, I'm just like playing with him, flirting with him. Like, when he says stuff, I'm like, that's what they all say, blah, blah, blah. He's like, girl, how many people lied to you, blah, blah. And we're just still like flirting, talking. Um, and I'm gonna mention this part because it matters for how this story turned out. In that car, me, him, and Minnie all just like got into a little bit of a relationship talk. Like, oh, what happened with your last? Oh, what happened with your last? Oh, what happened with your last? And we're all just like kind of bonding a little bit, being like, oh, that's crazy, this and that, whatever. So it was like a brief conversation like that, right? So Pesto and the guy she was talking to come back, and then we're like, all right, y'all, it's time to go home. Mind you, we're in one car, so we have to drop them off. So here's when things really solidified. Like, oh, okay, maybe my friends weren't being delusional. So on the ride back is five of us. We're crammed in there like sardines. Pesto and the guy she's talking to are in the front, and then it's Minnie, me in the middle, and Heel on the side. And you know how I told you he was complaining about it being cold. I was hot in the car, so I was like, "You want my jacket? Like, you want my jacket?" He's like, "Yeah." So I put my jacket on him like a blanket. I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna tuck you in." Mind you, that's one thing that he said that was funny too. Was like he was like yawning and stuff. Like when we came back to the car before Pesto and her guy came back, and I was like, no, don't go to sleep, like da da da. He's like, why don't you want me to go to sleep? I'm like, because why would you go to sleep instead of talk to me? And then he's like, yeah, no, I really do like talking to you, no corny shit, like we were flirting, blah blah blah. But you know how so I mentioned that because he was saying that he was tired earlier. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna tuck you in. When I put the jacket on him, I like tucked it in on him. And then y'all know how it goes at the end of the night. Like everybody's kind of tired. It's like 3 a.m. now. But I tuck him in. We're just talking. He's still warm. I was like, "Oh, okay, let me warm you up." Like I put my arm there, stuff like that. And then I remember like he like shifted a little bit. And y'all know how girls like to flirt. I'm like, "Oh, like you shifted over there, so you're just saying fuck my arm? Like was it bothering you? I was trying to warm you up, whatever." And then he brings his arm back, and when he puts his arm back next to my arm, we start holding hands. We start holding hands, right? And then I'm just playing since I know he was tired. And I'm like, okay, I tucked you in. Good night. Good night. And I like lean my head, and then he leans his head back. And we're cuddling back the whole ride home. We're just like listening to music. We're talking like here and there, but now it's mainly just us talking instead of like the rest of the car. Cause like you said, because like I said, it's tired, y'all. We're tired, y'all. It's like 3 a.m. So we're just talking about more stuff. We're just like flirting. Y'all know when you're in the back of a car and the music is so loud, so like everything I have to say is like in his ear. So it's like, huh? Huh? It's definitely giving, yeah, and we're just cuddling the whole ride home. And then mind you, I was thinking about the mission. My friends were saying the whole time, but I was like, I don't know, y'all. Like the whole time, I was like, I mean, I do because he's cute and we're really vibing and stuff. But I was just like, I'm gonna do that. Like, do I like ask if I can, or like, should I ask if I can on the cheek? Like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I've been single for so long. I don't know how this works. I don't get male interaction in real life. It's always on the internet these days. But I remember on my last first date, not that this was a date, but you know, it was like I was vibing with a dude. I kissed him like when he dropped me off. So I was like, maybe I'll do that. I'll ask for like, you know? So we get there, like he's like, oh, we got there. So sit up, blah blah. He like daps up my friends. He's like, all right, y'all, it's fun hanging with you, blah blah blah. We're like, okay, okay. But mind you, as soon as like the car stopped, I was like, oh no, I'm not doing this. Because y'all know like when the car stops and people get out and like the lights are on and now everyone cause I was like, no, I can't. But yeah, so he daps my friends up, but then he gives me a hug, and then he's like, bye, or like, bye. Like I said, this guy was like really funny. Apparently, he didn't see where his friend walked when he got out the car, so he got out and he was looking really stupid, and then he saw where his friend was, and we were all just laughing. But anyway, that was the end of the night, you know? So when we're driving away, where you know we're debriefing a little bit, my friends are talking about it. And they're like, I'm like, I failed the mission, guys. They were like, wait, really? I was like, nah, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't know the time. But they're all still like happy for me. Like he was really funny and they saw how we were connecting really well. And they're like, oh, okay, like he better say something tomorrow. Like, you know, because he has my Instagram and stuff. They're like, he better say something like, I think you guys are really cute, blah, blah, blah. We talk all that, whatever, right? So we go back to my friend's house, we fall asleep, and then we wake up in the morning, and my friend brings me back to my house. But on the way to my house, I'm still just debriefing more. Like I'm telling them like more of what they couldn't see. Like cause it was like dark and everyone was so tired. When I told them we were cuddling on the way back, they were like, what? We didn't even see that. I was like, yeah. But they were like, yeah, my friend, especially Pesto, like the one who actually met like is the reason this hangout happened. She's like, I think he's really cute. Like, I think he'll say something, whatever. So I come home. Mind you, we all went to sleep at like 4 a.m. I'm so tired. And I'm sure those guys are either super tired or literally still asleep. So it's like 1 and I'm up. But y'all, the thing about me is like when I catch a vibe or I know someone is feeling me, I'm just like, I don't care. I'll go for it. And like the vibes were on 10. So after I was home and up for a while, I was like, I'm gonna just DM him. I was like, you know how I just told y'all he was looking really stupid, getting out looking for his friend at the end. So I just slid in with a joke. I was like, you make it home okay? Like you was looking a little lost. Like that's just how the banter was like the whole night, right? So yeah. So and then he passed the vibe check times 1,000 because he responded in a voice memo. I'm like, okay, like I love voice memo people. So I send one back, and y'all, my life is a joke. When he sent a memo back to respond to my memo, why the fuck did he drop he dropped a bomb? No, he dropped 2 bombs on me. Like literally I was going home that night smiling like, oh, maybe potential, it was a fun night, for nothing after what he just said in that memo. So I get the memo. I press play. And mind you, he was just making all those jokes the other night about, girl, why you always think guys are lying, this and this and that. So first he's just responding to what I said. And then he's like, Alicia, like you're like a really sweet girl, huh? Like I don't want to lie to you, so I'm gonna just be honest. I'm listening like, what the fuck? I'm thinking he's about to say like, oh, I actually have a girlfriend or something like that, y'all. Why does he say? He says, okay, so one. So there's two things that you lied about, like. He goes, one, so you know I told you how my birthday is in December. It is in December, but I don't turn 21 in December. I turn 20. I'm like, oh. And mind you, I just don't like liars or little white lies at all. Like I'm 21, right? So that means he's 19. Okay, to me it's not ideal to date a 19-year-old, but like it's 2 years younger than me. Like I would give a 19-year-old a chance if he seemed cool, but not this one after you lying. Like what? So I'm like, "Oh, okay, you're done. Cuz why you lying?" But then he's like, "Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Alicia, you're just so sweet. Let me tell you, I'm gonna just be honest. Two, I'm like, okay, two. He's all like, I'm really not a relationship person. I don't see myself being in a relationship right now. I just want to let you know, I don't know, because you seem really sweet and da da. Mhm. What? Okay, why would I want a relationship with you, especially after you just told me you lied about your age? But two, if y'all can recall the night, when did I ever tell him I wanted a relationship with him? Like, y'all, I might have been feeling him, but I'm still a Scorpio. Boy, when did I say that? I don't remember saying that. But y'all about to listen with your own ears right now.
I actually, you know, you sound hella genuine, so a nigga gotta come clean. A nigga gotta come clean. I know. I'm sorry, you probably like, ugh, niggas. You probably already knew it. But, one, I turned 20 at the end of the year, not 21. And two, you just seem so genuine. You know, I don't want to lie to you, but I don't see myself in a relationship as of right now. Or, yeah, hella. I just don't see myself in a relationship right now, so I just want to let you know that, so you could.
Yeah. So literally, y'all, when I heard that, I just burst out laughing. Like, if you've been keeping up with my channel, I got stood up on a first date twice in the past month. I'm just really used to it all being like it's always something. And also, boy, I just met you yesterday. I don't care that much. But yeah, I'm just laughing because I just think it's so funny. I'm like, this a nigga got me again. Like, but like it's always something. And I just thought it was so funny. Like it was so unexpected. I'm expecting him to respond and just like talk casually. Like, so I sent it to my friends. They're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" We're all just laughing, like, "Ain't no way." And the main thing I said too, I'm like, I really would have been pissed if I finished the mission. Like my friend said, if we kissed and then I found out he was lying about his age, even though he wasn't like underage, but still, I would have been pissed. But I really just found it funny because I'm like, at this point, it's always something. So it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know what he expected out of that. I'm a Scorpio. Like, I was very tempted to be like, boy, when did I say I want a relationship with you? Like, boo, take a seat. But I didn't. I just left him on red and unfollowed him and just had a good ass laugh with my friends. Like, this is why I stay in the house. No, but not really because I genuinely had fun. Like the group was just a vibe. He was a vibe for the night. Like I just had fun being outside for once and not being asleep in my bed and cozy for the night. So I'm like, it was still cool, but I was just like, this is just so unserious. Like I can't make this up. I'm like, my life is literally a movie. When they said my life was a movie, I didn't think they meant it was a comedy. But apparently that's what they meant. So yeah, y'all. That is what happened. Let me know what you think about this story, what you would have done. I know nobody was expecting that because I wasn't either. That's what makes this literally so funny. Because what? Out of all the responses, like I thought I was about to be mad because I thought he was about to like be like, I have a girlfriend or something like that. Cause you know how people be trifling, like they go to hangouts like that. I'm not saying you always go to a hangout like that and it ends up like that. Like there are some people who can just go and hang out in a boy girl group and be cool, like if they have someone. But there's a lot who will act like they don't and act like that and how like that's honestly what I was expecting out of the memo, not that. So I just thought it was funny because at this point my dating life is a joke. So just add it to the list. That is a story, y'all. That is a story. That's what happens when you go outside, okay? It was still a vibe, but yeah, I meant what I said. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, this is going on YouTube. Because what was that? And I meant it. So yeah. Thank you guys for listening to another story time. I just did like the little pop of blue today because I took some cute pictures with the similar makeup look the other day. So you should go like them on my Instagram. But anyway, thank you guys for making it to the end of this story time, listening to me yap about some more bullshit. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.